Climate change is the gradual increase of global temperatures. Some people may ask, why is this a big deal, or how does this affect me? Well, I'll tell you. This is a big deal because an increase in global temperatures makes a chain reaction. The North and South ice caps melt. That causes ocean levels to rise. This makes flooding that can completely drown countries and states with low sea elevation such as California and Florida. The next question on people's minds is, what's causing this? There are a number of causes to climate change. However, the two at hand are fossil fuels and respiration. These two processes are very similar and have similar effects on the environment. They release a carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide is a gas that traps heat in the atmosphere, preventing it from leaving, while still allowing heat to enter. This phenomenon is called the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect is currently occurring on Venus. Venus has an average surface temperature of 900 degrees Fahrenheit, effectively making it the hottest planet, even though it is the second closest planet from the Sun, as opposed to being the first. The first closest planet, Mercury, has no atmosphere, so heat is not trapped, making the temperature range 800 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 290 degrees Fahrenheit. This effectively debunks the argument claiming that carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is not the cause of global warming. Every day, factories spew out much CO2. Last year, factories in America alone spewed out over 7 billion tons of CO2, yet humans also release CO2 when with 7 billion people on Earth. That is a lot of carbon dioxide. Yet the mystery remains, what is the cause? We started out with polls asking everyday people what they thought was the cause. A majority of people said that factories were the main cause of global warming. Now that we had a main idea of what the people thought, we decided to dig in farther for information. There had to be a reason that people believed that factories were the main cause. After researching, we recognized that we humans do breathe and contribute CO2 to the atmosphere. When we breathe, we might not be conscious of the fact, but we are breathing out CO2. Now, if there were only one person on Earth, this may not be a big deal. The fact of the matter is, there are 7 billion people on Earth. The average person puts out 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide in a day. In a year, that is 365 kilograms. 1 ton is roughly equal to 907 kilograms. Having more than 7 billion people in the world, almost 3 billion tons are emitted into the atmosphere every year. This is around 10% of the 33 billion tons put into the atmosphere. This is compared to the 57% CO2 emission. Now that we saw what percent of CO2 came from what, we could make our final conclusion. This time, the people were right. The majority of the CO2 was in fact contributed by factories. However, there are ways to decrease emissions into the atmosphere. First, breathe only once a year. By doing this, we can decrease emissions by 99.7%. Just kidding, that's a joke. It's just a joke. But really, we can add scrubbers into factories. This on average decreases emissions by 30%. If this were to be implemented into every factory, we could decrease global emissions by 15%. Let's go on and save the planet before it's too late.